Hey, what's up? It's your girl Sparkles, and I'm back with commentary on the latest episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, so the episode starts off with Ralph having a photo shoot for his new book. He looks very nice in his suit. Drew and her mom come to support him. This is when Drew tells her mom that that Ralph is not going to adopt her son. Her mom is a little bit confused, but of course they still support. They still support Ralph. I'm really not feeling Ralph, y'all. I try so hard to feel him. You know what I'm saying? For Drew's sake. I just really do not feel him at all. Okay, and so we're going to move on. So Sonya stops over by Drew's house, her and Sheree. They're having a little ponderosa, a little sit down. In this sit down, Sheree tells Sonya, while in Jamaica on the raft, Kenya said that she felt threatened by your husband's comment when he said, don't F with my wife. Okay, so Sonya's response was to stand up. I mean, she's been practicing this for weeks, it seems like. To stand up and say, you just want a man like this. You just want a man like this. Now, take this from somebody who has a good man, guys. Okay, I got one right up in there. I could take the phone in there right now and let you listen to him hear him snoring. Sonya, nobody cares that you have a good husband. That was not the point of the conversation. And I'm kind of tired of you not knowing how to keep up with the girls on your reads. You're annoying. That was not the point. The point was your husband overstepped his boundaries by getting in the women's business and trying to take up for you. Nobody else's husband does that. Everybody else's husband backs away, lets the girls handle their business. And that was the whole point of this conversation. Okay? So you need to let him know that this is the way the game goes. And in order for you to have a leg to stand on in this show, he's going to have to back and sit down and let you get rode like the beast that you rode in on. Okay? All right. And so then next we're going to move on. We're going to move to Marlo and Kenya's birthday party that was thrown by Drew and Sheree. So during this scene, Sheree stops over before the party, and Drew is letting her know how much her half of the party would cost. I later found out after the show was over with that Sheree had made a $1,000 payment beforehand, which she thought took care of her side of the bill, and Drew had added an additional $1,300 when she arrived. And she was like, oh no, I'm not paying for somebody else's extra ideas. Okay. You know, I don't know how Sheree rolls, but if it was up to me, I would have just, went on ahead and paid it and then just cut ties off with Drew. Any other things I would not have been in collaborations with her on. We just probably would have just been co-workers, keep it light, cute, and funky, and move on. I don't like no shady stuff like this. It's not really shady, but still, you could have told me beforehand, before these cameras was rolling. But Drew always wants to push the storyline of Sheree not having any money, and I don't know where Drew thinks she has a whole bunch of money from. What makes you think you're so rich that you can pick fun at Sheree all the time about her finances? Come on now, when you got other stuff to focus on, like Ralph not adopting your son. Right, we're gonna move on to the next part. Okay, and so I'm kind of actually tired of this old lady fight between Marlo and Kenya. It is wore out. It's ridiculous. They both say the meanest and the nastiest things to each other. We all know Marlo cannot read. Marlo just wants to go below the belt as possible. So we're tired of it, okay? And I'm so glad that that their little argument was stopped in the tracks. It was stopped right in the tracks where they began. And the birthday party continued. I did remember Sheree standing up, trying to explain herself about her and Kenya having a modeling contest, modeling gig. Sheree's assistant, baby, okay? She came to read the room. It's right, okay? Okay, Kenya did not stand a chance, and actually, I think Sheree's assistant should take Sonya's spot. Okay, here we go. So, I don't know if they found any models. Sheree ends up throwing out a number. I've already spent millions of dollars. Sheree, come on now. You couldn't even afford that $1,000 Drew was talking about. So we know you didn't spend millions, and you did come on and say, not figuratively, but I spent a lot of money on this project, and that is acceptable. You spent a lot of money. You don't want to spend any more. But you want to have a presentable show because you are on television. You want to push your brand. So I get why Kenya was making a big deal about it, and I get why I get your view too. So we're gonna move on. So now we have Apollo and Sheree sitting down for a little sit down. We got Apollo telling his story 10, 12 years after the fact. Of course, everybody wants to get their narrative out. And Apollo says that he just felt like Phaedra didn't have his back. Phaedra's like, oh, I wanted to keep my good name. We all know Phaedra is a lawyer around, an entertainment lawyer in Atlanta, and lawyers have to keep their good name. It is what it is. But we're going to go all the way back, guys. I do think that Phaedra and Apollo did a lot of shady stuff together, and because Phaedra was the lawyer, Apollo did everything under his name. So when the shit hit the fan, he was the one that got in trouble for it. And I do think Phaedra should have had his back a little bit more, but that's neither here nor there. They're done. So we're gonna move on. So he said he's gonna walk in Sheree's show, which in return gives Sheree a little bit, gives her show a little bit of, I guess, an edge, clout. She has a nice looking models, and her son, I'm quite sure he's gonna model too. And we all know he's gorgeous, so that's a good thing. And basically that's all I remember from the show. Because I'm not going back and rewatching it. So if I can't remember nothing else, it wasn't memorable. And you guys need to work a little bit harder. So that's all I remember from this episode. If you guys have any comments, I don't never see any comments in my comment section. So please like, comment, share, subscribe, and sparkle 24/7.